All right, we missed it in Miami on Saturday night. Now we did give you the over in that game, but we had Oklahoma City covering and winning, and none of that happened. So let's talk about Cleveland on Monday afternoon. You know, a day that the NBA always kind of treats Martin Luther King Jr. Day with a little extra weight, and so we get a matchup that feels maybe bigger than normal. Monday afternoon tip off. The Thunder head into Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers, kind of in the middle game of the league's MLK Day quadruple header. That's more difficult to say than it should be. But from a basketball perspective, from a breakdown perspective, I think this game's pretty loaded. You've got a 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central tip off. Rocket Arena. And I think what you have here is not just Thunder versus Cavs, but again, this is one of those games where we talk about a collision of identities. The best defense in the league against one of the most efficient offenses. A young, hungry Oklahoma City team coming off of a rare loss against a Cleveland team trying to solidify its place in the Eastern Conference. That's what we're breaking down. The Thunder come into this game 35-8, still sitting atop the Western Conference. That Saturday loss was rare territory for this group. And if there's one thing that we've learned about Oklahoma City this season, it's that they don't stay uncomfortable for very long. Cleveland, meanwhile, sitting at 24-19, sixth in the East, and quietly playing better basketball over the last couple of weeks. They've won 2 straight. They're back at home, and they're getting healthier, at least on paper. So this is the kind of matchup the NBA loves for special days like Monday. You got star power, contrasting styles, playoff caliber intensity, and 2 teams that expect to matter in April and in May. Then you add on kind of the injury layer here. Before you get into the chess match that's going to happen on the floor, you have to address the injury reports because they're going to factor in quite a bit here. Jalen Williams for Oklahoma City, he's out. Thigh injury. That's significant. He's not just a secondary scorer. He's a connector piece in everything Oklahoma City does offensively and defensively. Isaiah Hartenstein, day to day with calf issues. His status could swing both the rebounding and the interior defense if he's able to make it out on the floor. Cleveland, Darius Garland, day to day. Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, also day to day. I think the bigger name here to me, obviously, is Garland. If he's limited or if he's unavailable, Cleveland's offense becomes much more Donovan Mitchell centric. And while Mitchell's more than capable of carrying the load here, that changes the way Oklahoma City can scheme defensively. So I think you've got the stars kind of on center stage here. And this game's going to feature 2 of the league's most dangerous offensive weapons. Donovan Mitchell's averaging 29.2 points per game, nearly 6 assists, and continues to be the engine for everything that Cleveland does late in games. He thrives in these spotlight moments, and at home with the crowd behind him, he can turn a game in a hurry. On the other side, you've got SGA, who at this point might be the most consistently elite guard in basketball, averaging 31.8 points per game, the most staggering stat of all, 113 consecutive games with at least 20 points scored. So that's not just scoring, that is reliability. That's knowing exactly what you're getting night after night, regardless of who the opponent is, regardless of where the game is played or what circumstances that game is played under. So you go back to this clash of styles, defense versus offense. And this is where, if you're breaking it down, this game gets really interesting. Oklahoma City owns the top-ranked defense in the NBA. The Thunder allowing just 107.7 points per game. They're disciplined, switchable, and relentless at the point of attack. They don't just stop you, they make you uncomfortable. Cleveland, on the other hand, is one of the league's most productive scoring teams, putting up 120 points per game. That's the fourth best rate in the league. Their spacing, ball movement, and ability to generate quality looks early in the shot clock makes them a real test for any defense, even one as good as OKC's. So obviously, something has to give here. Cleveland scores about 12 points more per game than what Oklahoma City typically allows. That tells us that the Cavs are capable of cracking the Thunder's defensive code. But it also tells us that Oklahoma City is built to limit that damage over a 48-minute period. So both teams, you look at the last 10 games, sitting at 7-3. It's not a hot team versus a cold team. This is really strength on strength. But here's where I give Oklahoma City the mental edge. You go back to Saturday. Go back to where we started this conversation. That loss, that's fuel. This Thunder team has shown all season that when they stumble, they respond with focus and urgency. They don't spiral. What they do is they recalibrate. Cleveland, meanwhile, they've been excellent at home, but they've also had stretches where their offense stalls against elite defensive pressure. If Garland's not 100%, those dry spells become even more dangerous against a team like Oklahoma City that can turn defense into instant offense. So we're going to break this down and we're going to make some picks. I think the Thunder right now getting, they're plus 1.5. I love that. Give me that. Give me that all day because that's where the value is in this matchup, in my opinion. Oklahoma City is the best team in the West. They're a road underdog. I will take that every time. Yep, Jalen Williams being out, sure, it matters. Cleveland, yeah, they're tough at home, but the Thunder's depth, the defense, and the late game execution, I think they give them a real edge here. I have, with my model, I have Oklahoma City win this game outright. You get 119-114, which not only is going to cover the spread if you're the Thunder, it makes the points feel kind of generous. You got the Thunder at a money line of minus 110. So if you just want to look at, don't give me point spreads, tell me who wins this game, it's Oklahoma City. This isn't a situation where Oklahoma City needs help to hang around. I see them controlling large portions of this game, especially in the second half. The total here, 229.5. Let's go over that because this is my, I think this is my favorite play right here. This is my favorite thing I got going for me. The last two meetings between these teams sailed over that total. And I think it's going to climb into the 230s before tip-off, if it already hasn't. So this matchup, I think it still supports that model. Cleveland's offense can score. Oklahoma City's offense can punish mistakes, even with elite defenses on one side. The pace, shot making, and star power point us toward, I believe, another high-scoring affair. I think you're probably going to be around 233 total points. That's why I think that this point total is going to actually come up before tip-off. And that's, again, that's without factoring in potential late-game fouling if this thing stays close throughout, which I think is going to be down into the final couple minutes. It's going to be a 1 or 2 possession game. This is exactly what a special day Martin Luther King Jr. NBA game should look like. Meaningful, competitive, and layered with intrigue. Cleveland, the Cavs will have their moments. Donovan Mitchell is going to make shots that remind everyone why he's one of the league's elite closers. But I think over 4 quarters of basketball, I trust Oklahoma City's balance, defense, and composure. So again, give me a final score prediction. Oklahoma City 119, Cleveland 144. What that means is the Thunder are going to cover at plus 1.5. They're going to win this game outright. And at 229.5, I think this thing goes and hits the over. So that's it. That's the breakdown. The Thunder versus the Cavs, Monday afternoon. Have fun.